Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh! Are you kidding me? And gone!
Welcome back to the Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank podcast. I'm the host of this podcast, Lane Frank. We're now in episode number 47, everybody. Our 1-year anniversary of the Schoolyard Sports podcast. But what a week it was in college football last week. NFL week 1 starting up, MLB playoff race coming down to the wire, and so much more. Stay tuned for Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank, episode number 47. Let's hop into it. Now, let's start with episode number 47, how I always do, with the headlines. In the NFL, not a lot of crazy news in the NFL last week. Cut day's over, but we got week 1 starting up this week, okay? Next segment, we got Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day. Making their trip, but not too much news in the NFL. Le'Veon Bell signing with the Baltimore Ravens. When he was with the Steelers, it's our travel. It seemed like he would never ever sign with the Ravens, never ever signed with another team in the AFC North. But he did sign with the Ravens because the Ravens lost Justice Hill, brother Dax Hill, safety from Michigan. They lost Justice Hill, their backup running back, and their starting running back, J.K. Dobbins. They lost Mark Ingram in the offseason. They pretty much only have Gus Edwards right now. They say, hey, let's get Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, not too long ago, was a Pro Bowl running back. Okay? He was a top talent in the NFL. Let's go get him. Had a rough couple years with the Jets, rough year with the Chiefs. But let's go scoop up Le'Veon Bell, everybody. Great move by the Ravens. I love this to support Lamar Jackson, okay? Because that run game's pretty much going to be led by Lamar Jackson. Then they're going to go Gus Edwards. And then say Gus Edwards, he's not always reliable. He can get hurt sometimes. He's not always durable. Then you put Le'Veon Bell in there. This is a great running game. A top 10 running game in the NFL, in my opinion. The Baltimore Ravens. That's pretty much the only news in the NFL right now. Let's move over to the MLB, where we got a lot of news. Okay, in the MLB. My New York Mets are rolling, everybody. Okay, won 7 out of their last 9, I think. I am pumped to see my New York Mets winning, okay? They had a 5-game winning streak, got snapped because doubleheader game 2. Okay, it was a doubleheader game 2. That's all I'm trying to say. New York Mets, a great streak so far. Only 4 games behind the NL East. Okay, they can win this division. Mark my words. By the end of the year, the New York Mets will win the NL East. Bookmark it. New York Mets are going to win the NL East, everybody, okay? I'm sorry, Atlanta Braves. I'm sorry, Philadelphia Phillies. Javier Baez catch from fire. Pete Alonso hit 2 home runs last night. Okay, Lindor's coming together. Everybody's coming together. New York Mets, top team in MLB right now. Okay, just on fire right now. The New York Yankees had their 13-game winning streak. The Mets said, hey, let's stop that winning streak. Let's build on our winning streak. The New York Yankees winning streak stopped, and the New York Mets built on one. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. My New York Mets are rolling, everybody, but that's about for the MLB this week. Let's move over to college football, where we'll also have a lot of college football this episode. We'll have College Football Showcase, where we'll introduce some new things. But college football, a lot of great games this week. Okay, a lot of great games last week. Georgia beat Clemson, probably the biggest game of the week, 10-3. It was in the trenches game, everybody. That's my takeaway from that game. In the trenches, that game was. Okay, but a lot to go over in Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank, episode number 47. Stay tuned. Now, no top 5, everybody. At least not until next second. We've got Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day return. The first time in months. The NFL season's back, everybody. We got week 1. Let's start with Thursday Night Football. We're going to get this perfect record this week. We're picking 10 games. Let's hop into it. First game of the week. First game of the NFL season. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Buccaneers in this one. 31-17. Tampa Bay takes home the dub. Okay, next game. Steelers versus Bills, everybody. Okay, the Bills are at home, everybody. This is an easy win for the Bills, in my opinion. I think that the Bills do end up winning this game. I'm taking the Bills, everybody. Okay, Cardinals, Titans, everybody. The game is in Tennessee. But I don't care. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals to win this game. Kyler Murray's going to have a breakout year. He can win Offensive Player of the Year. I'll give my Offensive Player of the Year prediction later on this episode. Maybe it's Kyler Murray, maybe it's not. But I think Kyler Murray can definitely be a candidate, a finalist for Offensive Player of the Year this year. I think he's going to have a great year. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have his great year with the Arizona Cardinals. I think this team starts to come together. I think the defense finally starts to come together. If Chandler Jones is part of this team or if he is. And J.J. Watt. Okay, this team is going to be a very good team. Much more improved from last year. I was very high on the Cardinals last year, and then they dipped, went 8-8 after that lost to Patriots. Just a rough end of the season, got exposed by the Rams a couple times. The Cardinals are going to come back different this year, everybody. They are. I'm taking the Cardinals to win this game. I'm sorry, Derrick Henry, rushing yard leader. You might win the rushing title again this year. You might be Offensive Player of the Year again this year. But you're probably not going to be. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. The Cardinals are going to win this game. I'm sorry, Ryan Tannehill. But J.J. Watt's going to suffocate that offensive line in this game. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. Big. Now, next game, Seahawks versus Colts, everybody. Okay, it's in Indianapolis, but I don't believe in Carson Wentz. I really don't. I wish Jacob Eason was starting this game. I really, really do. So that's why I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. Close, though, because I like this defense of the Indianapolis Colts. I love Darius Leonard. I love DeForest Buckner, could also win Defensive Player of the Year this year. But I'm taking the Seahawks in this one over Indianapolis. Next game, Chargers versus Washington, everybody. Okay, you got two top 2020 picks going at Justin Herbert versus Chase Young. It's one of my most anticipated matchups. Week 1, everybody. Okay, I've been saying it for a while. I'm taking the Chargers, though. Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, just too much star power on the Chargers, in my opinion, for this team not to make the playoffs this year. I think the Chargers make the playoffs this year. But leave in the comment section if you think the Chargers make the playoffs this year. But that's besides the point. Too much star power on this team. That's going to be the storyline of this game. That's why I'm taking the Chargers over Washington, everybody. Leave your pick in the comment section. Now, next game. Jets versus Panthers, everybody. Okay, it's not in New York. I wish it was because then it'd be Sam Darnold's return to New York City. But it's not. Jets versus Panthers, everybody. I'm taking the Panthers in this one. But close, because I do love Zach Wilson. But it's on the road in his first career game. You know, this team still needs some improvement. Still got Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, a greatly improved offensive line. But, you know, the running game has some holes. We'll see how Corey Davis and Jameson Crowder. I'm so excited to see how Zach Wilson does. And I'm pretty excited to see how Sam Darnold does also. But I don't think the story of this game is going to be Sam Darnold. I don't think he's going to be the main reason. I don't think he's going to put the team on his back in this game. But I think it might be the run game. Christian McCaffrey, who could win out Offensive Player of the Year this year. Okay, but I am picking the Panthers to win this game. Now, next game, Browns versus Chiefs, everybody. Rematch of the AFC divisional matchup last year. Okay, we saw Patrick Mahomes go down in the AFC divisional match last year against the Browns with a concussion. Then Chad Henne comes in and proves to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Pretty much played like Patrick Mahomes towards the end of the game, at least that 3rd and 15 play. But I'm taking the Chiefs in this one, beating the Browns in the rematch. I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield. Maybe you can still make the Super Bowl this year, maybe. But I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs in this one, everybody. Still a Super Bowl favorite this year. Have we forgot how good the Kansas City Chiefs are? They have made the Super Bowl back-to-back years, okay? They have made the conference championship in 3 straight years, everybody. They have made the playoffs in 4 straight years, 5 straight years, whatever it might be. Okay, Kansas City Chiefs are a great team. Even without Patrick Mahomes all those years, they still were a great team, and they still are a great team. The Kansas City Chiefs, they are an amazing team in the NFL. You got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. I'm not forgetting about this team. You shouldn't either. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one. Big, actually. Next game, Dolphins versus Patriots, everybody. Okay, Tua Tagovailoa going over to Foxborough, playing the New England Patriots. Mac Jones, the starting quarterback. I'm taking the Patriots big in this one. I might even go 38-7, everybody. Okay, you don't see big wins like that in the NFL, but I think we do this week. Okay, call me crazy, but I love Mac Jones, and I really don't like Tua Tagovailoa's play so far in the NFL. I really don't. Give Tua Tagovailoa one more year, and then you're saying, Deshaun Watson time, quarterback time, maybe Desmond Ridder time we saw this week, Spencer Rattler time, Sam Howell time, whoever it might be, Carson Strong, whoever it might be. I don't think Tua Tagovailoa is starting quarterback this team next year. I think Tua Tagovailoa might be a bust. I really do. That's why I'm taking the Patriots in this game big. I think Mac Jones plays great in this game. I think Damian Harris plays great in this game. And I really do, okay? I think Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith come up big. I'm taking the Patriots in this one big. Next game, Packers versus Saints, everybody. Game's in Jacksonville. Not a home game for the Saints anymore, which even adds onto the pile. I'm taking the Packers in this one. 38-24. Give me Green Bay. Next game, Ravens versus Raiders, everybody. Monday Night Football. I'm taking the Ravens. I really don't care about Allegiant Stadium fans being back. Okay, it's not the passionate Oakland Raiders fans going to this game. I don't think so. Okay, so that's why I'm taking the Ravens to win this one. Big. 24-7. Give me the Ravens, everybody. Okay, I love this run game of the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, we're going to have Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards, and Le'Veon Bell all in one backfield at a time, maybe. We'll see. But the Ravens going to have a good year this year. They are. Just a sneak peek of what to see in this game. I'm taking the Ravens in this one. Big. Now, that's about from my Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day picks. Leave your picks in the comment section. I'm excited for week 1. Leave your picks in the comment section. Nah, top 5, everybody. And this isn't any ordinary top 5 this week, everybody. This is my top 5 bold predictions for the 2021-2022 NFL season. Let's hop into it. Number 5. The Cowboys surprised us all and they win 10-plus games. Okay, after the Buccaneers game, they don't play a playoff team from last year until week 11, when they go off against Kansas City Chiefs there in late November. I'm picking the Cowboys to have a great year here to surprise all of us. Okay, I think they lose one game to Washington, a couple other games down the way. I don't think they lose to the Chargers. I really don't. I think the Cowboys win that game fairly close, though. Okay, so I'm taking the Cowboys to have a great season so far. They're going to surprise us this year. They will. That's my 5th best bold prediction. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes wins his 2nd MVP of the NFL. But you know, I said it last year, and then I switched to Aaron Rodgers. But I'm going with Patrick Mahomes as my preseason NFL MVP. I can't think of another player. I'm not going to take a running back. I'm not going to take Aaron Rodgers to win again. And I'm sorry, Tom Brady and Josh Allen. I just don't see it. I don't see Josh Allen having a great year like he did last year. I think he's still going to have a good year, just not as great of a year as he had last year. I think the Bills can have a better year than they did last year, but maybe just not Josh Allen. That's why I'm picking Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP this year. My fourth best bowl prediction. Number 3, the offensive player of the year in the NFL. I talked all about on Schoolyard Sports NFL Gameday. It's going to be CMC. Christian McCaffrey, everybody's going to win. Offensive player of the year, he better. He's my running back for fantasy football. Offensive player of the year is Christian McCaffrey. No debate about it. And then also, I'm going to throw my defensive player of the year. Who is my defensive player of the year pick? It's Chase Young. Okay, Chase Young, a fearless defensive edge. Say he doesn't get, I think I picked Nick Bosa to win defensive player of the year last year before the season. I'm sorry, but Nick Bosa tore his ACL in week 2. But I'm sticking with Chase Young. I don't think he gets hurt. I really don't. Doesn't have a long career of injuries. Okay, I really don't. He doesn't have a history of injuries. He really doesn't. I'm picking Chase Young to win defensive player of the year this year. We saw a glimpse of him last year, but I think he wins defensive player of the year this year. No debate about it. I'm sorry, Aaron Donald. I'm sorry, TJ Watt. You didn't get robbed last year, defensive player of the year. Aaron Donald deserved defensive player of the year last year. But Chase Young deserves defensive player of the year this year, and he's going to win defensive player this year. My preseason pick for offensive player of the year is Christian McCaffrey. My preseason pick for defensive player of the year is Chase Young. That was my third best bowl prediction. Let's hop into number 2, everybody. Okay, call me crazy. I'm high on this team. I was. Not anymore, though. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams both failed to make the conference championship game. I think the conference championship game in the NFC this year is going to be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers. Call me crazy, you can, but I'm not. That is my prediction. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers not going to make the conference championship game this year. Okay, you don't have a solid running game. You can say, Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. Tom Brady's 44 years old. I'm not going to pull all the old card on Tom Brady. I'm very high on Tom Brady. I'm higher than most on Tom Brady. I'm ranking Tom Brady as the 3rd best player in the NFL right now. Okay, you can call me crazy on that too. But I really don't see this team having a Super Bowl run this year. Okay, it's going to pay me to say I think they have an amazing and elite regular season. I think they go 15-2 in the regular season. I really do. But I think they have a playoff collapse. You can see, I mean, the year after the Green Bay Packers won their first championship with Aaron Rodgers, they went 15-1 in the regular season. They lost their first playoff game. I think the Buccaneers go into the playoffs as the number 1 seed, and they lose their playoff game. To say it's either the 49ers or it's to the Green Bay Packers, they're not going to make the conference championship games here. Don't even get me started on the Rams. Okay, I think the Rams go 13-4 this year in the regular season, also have another collapse. I think they lose maybe in the divisional round, maybe in the wild card round. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. My second best bowl prediction, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams, call me crazy, will not, no debate about it, make the conference championship game in the NFC this year. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, my number 1 bold prediction for this 2021-22 NFL season is that the New York Jets will win the Super Bowl, everybody. I'm just kidding. Okay, my Super Bowl pick for this year is the Green Bay Packers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And who do I have winning that game? Call me crazy. It's a last dance, everybody. Give me the Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl this year. That's about for top 5 this week. That's about for my top 5 bold predictions for the 2021 NFL season. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, did you know everybody this week? So did you know? It's a good one. Did you know no team's ever won the College Football Playoff National Championship game or the BCS National Championship game after losing their first game of the season? Okay, people were saying over the weekend, no team's ever made the College Football Playoff after losing their first game of the season. Clemson, good luck. But I want to update a little bit. No team has ever won an outright national championship game ever after losing their first game of the season. No team's ever won a BCS national championship game after losing their first game of the season. No team's ever won a college football playoff national championship game after losing their first game of the season, let alone make the college football playoff. That's about for doing this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, MVP this week. This week's MVP is, I'm going to give it to Mackenzie Milton, everybody. You can say, why is it Mackenzie Milton? No, he didn't even win the game. Mackenzie Milton hadn't played football in 3 years. He had a pretty much 0% chance of playing football again, pretty much only a 25% chance of walking again after that horrific injury on November 30th against USF in their finale of their regular season after going 12-0. Okay, Mackenzie Milton to return on that field in that Notre Dame game to lead a comeback to bring them to overtime against a top 10 national team. Okay, as an unranked team, Mackenzie Milton brought them back in that game. You could say, oh, he fumbled the ball in the red zone in overtime. No, it was Mike Norvell's fault for icing his own kicker when the kicker made it. All right, that's on, and then the kicker missed the 35-yard field goal. Wasn't Mackenzie Milton's fault. Mackenzie Milton, just to fight back, he's easily MVP this week. No debate about it. Now LVP, everybody. Also college football. My LVP this week is preseason Heisman betting voters. Okay, you want to know why? these were pretty much the top Heisman candidates before the season. De'Aaron King, nope, pretty much. Blew his chances in week 1. Brock Purdy, absolutely not. He is a Heisman favorite going into the year. Iowa State quarterback. Had a terrible game against Northern Iowa. They only won by 6 against Northern Iowa. We'll talk about the Iowa State-Iowa game later on this episode in College Football Showcase, but no. He's not a Heisman favorite anymore. De'Aaron King obviously has said no. Spencer Rattler, absolutely not. Okay, threw 2 interceptions in his first game. Didn't look like a Heisman in that game. Can still win the Heisman this year, but what I saw in week 1 did not look like a Heisman in week 1. Sam Howell, absolutely not also. Okay, just lost the game for his team. Really was the only reason North Carolina lost the game. Okay, you could say the defense was bad also. But what was he doing on that last play of the game for North Carolina? Threw 3 interceptions, career-high interceptions. Was probably the worst game of Sam Howell's college football career when he had to play the best game of the college football career, pretty much. Okay, didn't shine the lights over the brass. I said that. They were a lock to win that game. Big North Carolina, Virginia Tech. And you proved me wrong. Notre Dame went to Virginia Tech and won big. Okay? Clemson went to Virginia Tech in that game, sold out, and won big. And I expect North Carolina to do the same. And they just didn't. They really didn't. Sam Howell doesn't have a chance to be the Heisman this year at all. And DJ Uiagalelei, don't even get to me started. Absolutely not. You can say, oh, Georgia defense, yeah, they're great. Oh, no. DJ Uiagalelei was terrible. In week 1. Okay, I wasn't high on DJ Uiagalelei last year also. You could say, people said, he threw for 400 yards against Notre Dame. You're still not high on him? No, because he had bad plays in third down and goal pretty much. He could have won that game against Notre Dame, but he didn't because he didn't get third down conversions. What doesn't show up in the stat sheet, that's what that was. DJ Uiagalelei had a really, really bad game against Georgia in week 1. So my MVP of the week is Mackenzie Millen. My LVP of the week is if you betted the Heisman, if you bet any of these players to win the Heisman week 1, if you bet Bryce Young, you're looking great right now. But outside of Bryce Young, these are pretty much favorites. Even JT Daniels didn't even play well. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. That's about for MVP, LVP this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, what lane would I take, everybody? The segment's returning. This week's what lane would I take situation is, if I had to start an MLB team right now, and I got to choose 3 players under the age of 25, I get to choose 1 infielder, 1 outfielder, 1 pitcher. They all have to be under 25. Who am I taking? Okay, at shortstop, this is an easy decision for me. I'm taking an infielder. My first infielder, first pick, is Fernando Tatis Jr. Okay, I went to a Padres game over the weekend. He really didn't look good. I right field didn't even have a hit, but the night before he hit a home run. Okay, it wasn't a great game for Fernando Tatis Jr. the game I went to. But Fernando Tatis Jr. is an elite player. $330 million, worth every penny of it. Fernando Tatis Jr., if I just choose 1 infielder to start my franchise right now, I would choose him. Now, my 1 outfielder, who am I taking? Ronald Acuna Jr. I'm sorry, Juan Soto, but I'm taking Ronald Acuna Jr. I don't care if he's going to be out the rest of this season, the rest of next season, and maybe some part of the next season, which I doubt will happen, but you never know. Ronald Acuna Jr. is who I'm taking as my outfielder. They're under 25 years old. If I had to start a franchise right now, my 1 outfielder. Now, my last pick, 1 pitcher. If I could choose 1 pitcher under the age of 25, there's a lot of good pitchers under the age of 25. You got Mike Soroka in there, you got Josiah Gray, you got a couple good prospects. But you know what I'm taking? I'm taking Jack Leiter, the number 2 pick in this year's MLB draft, going to the Texas Rangers. Okay, he has a chance to be a Hall of Famer. He has a chance to be one of the best pitchers of all time, one of the best players of all time. That's why I'm taking Jack Leiter as my top pitcher. If I were to start a franchise right now under the age of 25, I would take him if I had to build a dynasty right now. So I would take Fernando Tatis Jr. as my infielder, Ronald Acuna Jr. as my outfielder, and Jack Leiter, pitcher out of Vanderbilt. Okay, that's about for 1 lane what I'd take this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, College Football Showcase, everybody. What a weekend and Monday we had in college football, everybody. Okay, probably the best weekend of sports I've had in a year. Okay, college football. This was the best weekend of college football I've watched in over a year, everybody. Okay, better than every weekend last year of college football. Last year of college football, we had no crowds and nothing. I got to watch my Michigan Wolverines go out front in a 110,000 fan packed crowd. I'm going to that Michigan-Washington game this week. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. But that's besides the point. College football, what a weekend we had, everybody. Okay, we had North Carolina losing to Virginia Tech, which just saddened me. We had Tulane almost upsetting Oklahoma, which did hit that over pick. Okay, 35-40. This close. Oklahoma blew that game then. Spencer Rattler didn't play up to par. Alabama, okay. Bama's going to roll. Bama's going to roll, everybody. 144-13. I expected a blowout, and I got a blowout. Okay, Alabama beat Miami by so much. 44-13. The Alabama Crimson Tide won over Miami. What a game that was. And then, Michigan, like I mentioned earlier, winning 47-14. So sad that the Ronnie Bell torn ACL injury. Had a great game and then tore his ACL on a punt return. But just an interesting thing to see. My Michigan Wolverines winning 47-14 against the Western Michigan Broncos. J.J. McCarthy looked great in that one play. Touchdown play he had. Cade McNamara played great. Only 2 incompletions, which were both deflections. Just the defensive line, careless mistake there. But, only 2 incompletions by Cam McNamara. A great game, 9 of 11. Okay, a great game. Cam McNamara. And then we got Georgia Clemson, like I broke down earlier. Okay, Georgia obviously won that game in the trenches game. Wasn't even 100%. I'm glad Georgia won that game. I honestly am. Even though I picked Clemson, I was glad that Georgia won that game. Towards end of the game, I started rooting for Georgia a little bit. Only 1 touchdown in the game. It was a pick 6 by the Georgia defense. Just an interesting thing to think about. But now, let's get over to our new thing in College Football Showcase. Okay, the AP poll top 25 released this week, and I got a lot to say about it. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in College Football Showcase every week, everybody, we're going to be listing my Schoolyard Sports top 25. It's now AP top 25 poll, the Schoolyard Sports top 25 poll. Let's hop into it. My number 1 team I've got is Alabama. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Ohio State. 4, Cincinnati. 5, Oklahoma. 6, Clemson. 7, Texas A&M. 8, Notre Dame. 9, Iowa State. 10, Oregon. 11, Florida. 12, Iowa. 13, USC. 14, UCLA. 15, Penn State. 16, Texas. 17, Virginia Tech. 18, North Carolina. 19, Coastal Carolina. 20, Wisconsin. 21, Miami. 22, UCF. 23, Ole Miss. 24, my Michigan Wolverines. And number 25, Nevada, everybody, okay? Okay, so now let me break down just a little bit. Okay, I love Nevada being a top 25 team. Okay, I'm thinking Nevada is a top 25 team. Had a great win against California this week, okay? That's a Power 5 team who they beat. They got Carson Strong, projected top 10 pick in this NFL draft quarterback. I'm really loving this Nevada team. Okay, Cal is pretty much better at every single position than Nevada, except for quarterback. Carson Strong is a top 10 quarterback in college football. There's no debating that. He has played a great game. Okay, Nevada, 25th best team in college football. Then I got Michigan at 24 just because my favorite team, my Michigan Wolverines. And they played just great week 1. Okay, a lot of people had my Michigan Wolverines in their top 25. Not the AP poll top 25. They had them right out there, pretty much 27. Okay, but I think after a big win against Washington this week, they will be. From 23, I Ole Miss, great win on Monday night against Louisville. 22, UCF, I know they had a great comeback. I think it was 20 unanswered points against Boise State. That was a great game also. 20, Wisconsin, okay, just not a great game for Wisconsin against Penn State. I was thinking about not even ranking them, but I decided to rank them. 21, Miami after a dreadful loss against Alabama, and then I got the Carolinas, 18 and 19, Coastal Carolina, North Carolina. It was a great week for college football. I wanted to put Cincinnati at number 4, everybody, okay, because I think Cincinnati's top 4 team in college football. I moved Clemson down to number 6, okay, because that's where they are on the AP poll top 25 right now, and I agree with that. But I moved A&M down to 7 because of my preseason poll. They were number 5. But I'm moving them down to number 7 because I don't love what I saw from Haynes King. I'm moving Notre Dame up because, it was a good game for Notre Dame. Just not a great game on defense. No reason to move them down at all. They still won that game. Okay, a bunch of teams in front of them lost. But I am moving down Iowa State after that dreadful game against Northern Iowa. Yes, they won, but it was 16-10, everybody. Not a great game at all for Iowa State. But that's about for my Schoolyard Sports week 1, post-week 1. Top 25 poll, everybody. Okay, let's move over to the games portion of Schoolyard Sports. Lane for College Football Showcase, episode number 47. Let's hop into it. My lock of the week for college football this week is Miami -9 versus Appalachian State. You're saying, oh, Appalachian State, watch for the upset. Appalachian State in 2019 was a great team under Elijah Drinkwitz. Elijah Drinkwitz is at Missouri right now, everybody, okay? New head coach at Appalachian State. Really not loving this Appalachian State team. This is an easy pick for me. I'm taking the Miami Hurricanes -9 against Appalachian State. Next game, Michigan -6.5 against Washington. Washington lost against Montana, a FCS team. This was the first time in 5 years a ranked FBS team lost to an FCS team. This ain't no Western Michigan. Western Michigan, I read, is miles ahead of Montana, and Michigan beat Western Michigan 47-14. Montana beat Washington. Oh, I'm taking my Michigan Wolverines big in this game. Dylan Morris didn't look good. Giles Jackson, former Michigan player, did not look in that game, good in that game either. Okay, but now let's move over to I'm going to pick 2 games this week. The game of the week and then one other game. So this is not the game of the week, but it's a great game. Oregon versus Ohio State. It's in Columbus. Just give me the Buckeyes. All right, I really hate to say it. Give me the Buckeyes. I'm taking Ohio State 35-14 maybe. Oregon didn't look great against Fresno State. I picked that to be a close game, and it was. Kayvon Thibodeau might be questionable in this game. He might not even play in this game. That's why I'm taking Ohio State in this game. But if he does, and just see your struggles, mark my word, Kyle McCord might be the starter of this team next week if they lose this game. Okay, if Ohio State loses this game this week, Kyle McCord might be the starting quarterback of this team next week. True freshman Kyle McCord. Great quarterback. He could be the starting quarterback of this team next week if Ohio State struggles this week or if C.J. Stroud loses this game for them. C.J. Stroud plays terrible. Not up to par. We can even see a halftime switch if C.J. Stroud doesn't play well. He had a great second half against Minnesota last week. A really poor first half. But I'm picking Ohio State to win this game. They're going to run Oregon out of Columbus. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. Oregon is going to get run out of Columbus. Ohio State, a home game for them. It's going to be an easy game for them. I'm taking the Buckeyes in this one. Now, the game of the week, we've got Iowa versus Iowa State. Iowa looked great last week. I picked Indiana to win that game. Iowa blew them out. They crushed them. Senator Petros had a good game. Good game. He only had 158 yards, but still a good game. Great game for the Iowa defense. And it wasn't a great game for the Iowa State Cyclones. Everybody, okay, only won 16-10 against Northern Iowa. They're playing another Iowa team this week in Iowa. Okay, game is in Ames, Iowa. I'm very excited to watch the game. Just because it's home for Iowa State, that's why I'm taking the Cyclones. This one off a game-winning field goal by Connor Ashley. I'm taking the Iowa State Cyclones in this one, 21-18. Give me the Cyclones over the Hawkeyes in a great game. Deserves to be college game this week, and it is. I'm taking Iowa State in this one. That's about for College Football Showcase this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, at the buzzer, everybody. At the buzzer, making a return. But this week's At the Buzzer is I want to talk about the San Diego Padres, everybody. I went to that San Diego Padres versus Houston Astros game on Sunday where Jake Cronenworth hit a walk-off home run. What a great game that was. But what I noticed in that game is the Padres' offense can be on fire, and then they can also collapse. They had 3 first-inning runs, didn't score again until the 9th inning, bombed in the 9th inning with Jake Cronenworth hitting a home run. They can have great pitching, but they can also collapse at times. Chris Paddock was throwing a shutout, then he gave up back-to-back home runs. Okay, so if this Padres' offense is on fire at the time of the playoffs, they can make the World Series. But if it's not, if the pitching's failing, this team's going to lose in the wild card round. That's all I'm trying to say here. It's a very up-and-down team, what I noticed, the Padres. They're a very up-and-down team. I think by the time it comes playoff time, they're going to be they're going to be going downhill on the offense a little bit. I didn't love what I saw from Fernando Tatis in that game. Like I said, went 0 for 3, but, had a great game the night before. Okay, so had a bad error in the field. They haven't played in right field right now since he can't play shortstop because of dislocated injury. And just, if there was a universal DH in the MLB, Fernando Tatis Jr. could greatly benefit from that. In my opinion, one of the worst fielders on this Padres team right now. So I think when it comes to playoff time, I don't think this team is going to win a playoff game. I really do think that they are going to lose this wild card game to the Cincinnati Reds. You can bookmark it. Okay, San Diego Padres are going to lose in the wild card round to the Cincinnati Reds, everybody. Or the Cincinnati Reds are going to advance. Make the divisional round. Make the NLDS, everybody. That's about for At the Buzzer this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, question of the day, everybody. This week's question is, who's the best team in the NFL? NFL Week 1 starting up. Give your preseason pick of who the best team in the NFL is. Leave your answer in the comment section. That's about for question of the day this week. That's about for Schoolyard Sports with Land Frank, episode number 47. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Instagram at Schoolyard Sports. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Twitter at Schoolyard Sport. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review for the best sports content in the world. We'll be back here next week in episode number 48. Stay tuned.